I was mid-swipe on the copier when it asked for a passcode. I did not type my own. The screen thought I was someone else, and my stomach agreed with it. Eastview Community Center smelled like lemon cleaner and old paper. Fluorescent lights buzzed overhead, my shoes sticking to the mat when I hurried. And my badge felt heavier than it should. I needed hours. My brother's lung meds were due, and the landlord had started leaving friendly notes. I'd promised my mother I would keep everything steady, so I took every shift that appeared on the schedule. That morning, I was printing intake forms. Apex Solutions donated the toner every quarter, always there, never questioned. I knew the routing code because they taped it inside the machine cover like a habit. The discovery wasn't dramatic. In the admin drawer, behind the volunteer sign-in clipboard, I found a folder with no label, just a tab marked Eastview. I told myself it was routine budget reconciliation. Inside was a thin stack of documents. Names, client names, each followed by a tier, a time window, numbers, and categories that turned people into schedules. One line carried my brother's initials, and beside it a phrase that didn't belong in a community center. Coverage paused upon verification of dependency. My breath tightened. Cold sweat cooled my palms. The wall clock ticked louder, as if counting down. When I tried to read again, my eyes blurred and my voice dropped, even though no one was in the room. I knew Sarah Alvarez. She ran youth mentoring nights, smiled like a church bulletin, and remembered details you never told. She also worked at Apex Solutions, on paper, on her resume, on the awards plaque in the lobby. A trusted pillar, a bridge. I checked the timestamps. After hours updates from our center's records, tier changes pulled straight from the work we did all day. My pattern I could not unsee suddenly had proof. If I showed the file to our director, Apex would cut our partnership. We'd lose the grant that kept the pantry stocked. My brother's meds would become another appointment I couldn't afford. If I stayed quiet, Sarah would keep deciding who got care and who got delayed, calculated timing hiding inside small decisions, signatures, and the click of a mouse. I rehearsed options like prayers. I could leak the documents to a city auditor, but that would expose our clients and their intake history to strangers. I could confront Sarah, but if she denied it, my doubt would be the only thing left in the room with me, unprovable. So I asked myself what kind of person I was required to be. For my mother's sake, for my brother's next refill. The moment I chose happened in a place that looked harmless, a parking garage near Silverline Logistics, where I parked after my shift to avoid talking to anyone before I left. My phone lit up my trembling hands. The fluorescent glare turned my dilated pupils into sharp white lines. A door security camera watched from the corner, a red dot that didn't blink. I had the folder's contents in a secure draft, encrypted, delayed upload, a safeguard I told myself would buy time. Sarah's name was in my contacts because she texted schedule reminders. I didn't call her. I didn't write threats. I typed one message to the center director, just enough for him to check the drawer, then hit send, my thumb shaking like a signal in a language I never learned. Then the rest was quiet. I deleted my draft, left the folder exactly where I found it, and walked out before my legs could betray me. When I returned to the center, the air felt thinner. Break room coffee sat untouched, glossy with disappointment. Sarah stood at the counter, stirring nothing, her smile fixed like a mask held in place by habit. She looked at me without warmth, ice in a human face. Her eyes tracked my badge, the shoes that stuck, the hands that now knew what they'd touched. She didn't accuse me. She didn't have to. The look told me I was already accounted for. That day, an emergency meeting. Apex sent an email about administrative compliance and urgent restructuring. No one said the word paused. No one said brother. They just rearranged schedules until the pantry couldn't keep up with hunger. Sarah kept mentoring, but her laughter lost edges. She spoke to clients in shorter sentences, as if afraid her own voice might drop too far. I learned after the fallout settled into routine, truth doesn't automatically free you. It only changes who holds the steering wheel. I thought the truth would set me free. It didn't. It showed me people aren't always villains or angels. They're managers of risk, choosing the masks they can live behind. I still show up to shifts. I still count my brother's days like pennies in a pocket, but I sleep with the same dread because now I know the difference between a confession and a weapon.